If the sharks don't eat them, they drown, and they find themselves 2.5 miles down the bottom of the ocean. Okay, you want to believe that? Go ahead. But I got some statistics up here. I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin your fear, so you may want to tune out now if you like to be scared of aircraft disasters. And I'm going to share it with you. Planecrashinfo.com. It's just one site, but it's based on the real stuff. I didn't think I could really trust Boeing's reports. They're gonna make stuff look less hectic, of course, since it's mostly their own aircraft in the sky. But if you look at the graph going from 1960 all the way up to 2013, and you look, there are two categories they use on this planecrashinfo.com. One is the accidents per year, the number of accidents. Second is accidents with greater than 99 fatalities. That's a hell of a split. You know, me personally, I'm interested in the ones where 60 died. But it's just weird the way they do it. But really, it kind of have a story to it. You can watch a pattern emerge here. Overall accidents since 1960 have dropped dramatically. In 1960, there were about 34 overall aircraft accidents, and that has dropped down in 2013 to 5, which has been on a steady decline since 2010. And then everything else is in between. The highest was in between 1960 and today was 35, and that happened twice, both in 1969 and 1970. So, everybody was high. I'm just going to blame that. But what they do on this page is they go further down and they get into causes, and they get into which type of flying is safer. And they show you on a graph approximately where in the flight path or pattern the accidents most often occur. Takeoff, landing, mid-flight. They break it down. Initial climb flaps up, descent, initial approach, final approach and landing, got all that. And here's the big thing though. Let's see, odds of being involved in a fatal accident. Of course, they're talking about airplane accidents. So what do you think they are? What do you think your chances of dying as a result of being on a commercial airliner are? The Jeopardy theme is playing. You just can't hear it. I'm actually playing it with my ass. I'm bouncing my ass cheeks up and down using a frog, which I think is a term they use to talk about violins, and the violin itself. It's the Jeopardy theme. So hear that, playing it with my ass, and I want to know if you know off the top of your head approximately what are your chances, one in blank, of dying as a result of having been on a commercial aircraft. And once you get that number fixed in your head, I'm going to hit you with the facts. Okay, odds of being on an airline flight which results in at least one fatality. This isn't even you. Okay, this is just one fatality on the aircraft. 1 in 3.4 million. If you happen to be on one of the top 39 airlines with the best accident rates, which you probably would have been, 1 in 10 million chance that anybody on that flight dies. Even the bottom 39 with the worst accident rates, your chances of death, 1 in 1.5 million. Odds of being killed on a single airline flight. This is where you die. 78 major, all the 78 major world airlines, 1 in 4.7 million will die as a result of having been on the airliner. Top 39 with the best safety, 1 in 19.8 million. And even if you get on the worst airlines in the world regarding safety record, you still only have a 1 in 2 million chance that you die. So I guess the question I have for you is, if you want to be scared, you're going to have to ignore everything I just said, because your chances are looking pretty good on the airliner. Now that I've read you that, I'm going to pull up chances of death via car accident. And I'm going to also pull up chances of death via, what would be fun? All right, we'll use lightning for that one. And then finally, just for fun, we'll do chances of death during sex. Because you know, I mean, because that's the curveball. You know I always bring a curveball. It helps put things in perspective. Well, here's the odds of dying. This is a good one. Odds of dying, live science. You never know. You have to check 2 or 3, 4 sources sometimes because you don't know motives. And if you don't know motives, you don't know what kind of sources they're digging from to cherry pick. So that's an unfortunate part of understanding news today worldwide, and you just have to navigate through it. Nothing's going to be handed to you as perfectly accurate news. Yeah, I should have done earthquake too. Looks like these are going to list a few anyway. Come on, show me the chart. Show me the chart. I like charts. Here we go. Uh-oh. No, I'm not. I don't like ads. I like charts, but not. Here we go. So heart disease, there's a 1 in 5 chance that kills you. Yeah, cancer 1 in 7, stroke 1 in 23, accidental injury 1 in 36, motor vehicle accident. Now, is this death from or being involved? I'm pretty sure this is death from. So anyway, 1 in 100. Intentional self-harm suicide. Let me just define this for you very quickly because I think it's a little misleading. The more specific figures, based on long-term data. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read a few of these to you. Intentional self-harm suicide, 1 in 121. What I don't know if that is attempts that are successful or how many people actually do it and succeed, whatever. Falling down, 1 in 246 people. Let me just stop there. Falling down will kill 1 in 246 people. And your chances of dying on an airplane, on the lowest quality airliners, with the worst accident records, is 1 in 2 million. Now, if you don't have a calculator handy, that's okay. Because you really don't need it, do you? To see where I'm going with this. Assault by firearm, 1 in 325 will die from it. Fire or smoke, 1 in 1,116. Natural forces, this is where you get your earthquakes, heat, cold storms, tsunamis, 1 in 3,357. Electrocution, 1 in 5,000. Drowning, 1 in 9,000. Air travel accident. Now, this has an asterisk beside it. It says 1 in 20,000, and the asterisk, perhaps 1 in 500,000. That's kind of a weird asterisk. I don't know what that means. That doesn't match up with my other numbers. But either way, I mean, compare it. Falling down is going to get you. Falling down. You want to be afraid, people? Don't turn on CNN and watch news about aircraft. Go look at your front steps. They're terrifying. That's what's going to get you. Legal execution, 1 in 58,000. Snake, bee, or other venomous bite or sting, 1 in 100,000. Dog attacked, 1 in 150,000. Look at this. Asteroid impact, 1 in 200,000. Tsunami, which I had lumped in with the other natural disasters and I shouldn't have, says 1 in 500,000. Fireworks discharge, 1 in 615,000. Yeah, heart disease is probably going to get you. That's what's going to get you. If not, it'll be a car accident, a stroke, suicide. That's what's going to get you. Yeah, that's what's going to get most of us there. That's what's going to get most of us. All right, I'll close that one. Let's see what else we got. And we'll move on from there. Where will we move on to? I don't know. Moving on is, motion's relative. So really it doesn't matter. And here's the story. Air Asia Indonesia flight QZ8501 to Singapore missing. I wonder if they found it yet. Usually when I'm doing a show, sometimes the news pops in and I don't have like a ticker or anything. Deadliest U.S. sniper is shot dead. What? I didn't see that one coming. Well, it is one of the top 10 causes of death. Iraq veteran, ex-U.S. Navy SEAL, known as deadliest sniper, has been shot dead on a Texas shooting range. Wait a minute, isn't that an old story? Where he lived through a bunch of shit and then somebody came and killed him? Or is this brand new? Well, give me a date. 4 February 2013. Yeah, this is old. I knew that. Fuck with me. Who did this? BBC? BBC? Gonna have to bitch smack you. Yeah, pulling out the giant hand right now. Let's see. Injury facts. National Safety Council. I don't know if that's a good source. It's probably as good as any of these other ones. How scared should we be? That's a New York Times blog. That's not going to do it for me. All right. So National Safety Council here. Injury facts. Odds of dying. Pulling that up because I want you to know. I want you to know what to be afraid of. You want to know what to be afraid of? I'm going to tell you what to be afraid of. There we go. Chart of the odds of dying from various causes. This is a different chart. Heart disease and cancer. Okay, they're just combining them here. 1 in 7. Intentional self-harm. 1 in 103. Motor vehicles. 1 in 112. Unintentional poisoning by and exposure to noxious substance. 1 in 119. Falls. 1 in 152. And on down the line. Do they have airplanes here? I don't even think they're going to bother with it. The odds are so low. They're not even bothering with it on this chart. You got to be kidding me. Bittner struck by dog. 1 in 100,000. Lightning. 1 in 136,000. You're more likely to get struck by and killed by lightning than to die in a plane. But people, I don't know what it is. That doesn't matter to you when you're on a plane that's hitting turbulence, does it? You don't think about those. Those numbers make no sense to you. All you think is, am I going to die today? I've been on some planes with some serious turbulence, and I've jumped out of a couple of them voluntarily, admittedly, and I'm still not comfortable flying. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be the pilot. I would feel comfortable if I knew. And here's what I wanted to talk about. These Airbuses, so much of their flight control is automated now. It really is run by computers. And that's good and bad. It doesn't give the pilots enough. A pilot in an Airbus 380 might spend 4 minutes flying. 2 minutes on takeoff, 2 minutes on landing. The rest, the computer's going to do it. So what happens is, yes, they're required to do certifications every year and all that, but they're not getting that real-time flight experience in. And if you look at the Air France one, that was a prototypical example of what happens when you let someone who doesn't have enough experience take manual control when you're coming up on storm systems. And he was basically steadily aiming the nose up. They went to climb, which made sense for what they were doing, but he kept trying to climb and kept trying to climb, and the air's getting thinner, and they weren't hitting the throttle, and he kept trying to climb, and slowly this plane begins to fall out of the sky with its ass kind of aiming down, not vertical, but just kind of falling, and they had lost a couple of their sensors, so they didn't know their real airspeed, and then he actually tries to pull the nose up higher, thinking that, we need to climb more. We're obviously losing altitude because their altimeter started working. This kind of stuff. What they should have done, if they're going to be that inexperienced, is as soon as they got up to an altitude they were happy with, I think they wanted to get up to 30,000 feet. They ended up at 40,000. Fucking turn the autopilot back on if you can't figure it out. But they let some amateur run it. They had 2 more experienced pilots in that aircraft, and they let the amateur run the show. And then when the more experienced pilot, the second most experienced, got in the other seat and was supposed to be handling the controls, the other guy was still pulling back on the fucking lift to get the nose up. So let's see. What's my show today about? I don't want you to be scared unless you got a reason to. I guess that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. I'm not going to pull up the fun death statistics. You've got the Google. You can do that. And I have I've been having a sleep issue No, that's a little bit worse than normal here lately.